All right. Hello. My name is Anna Bryson, and I am a project designer for Michaels. And today we are going to make a beaded shark keychain. So let's get to it. Okay, we are going to start out with, let's run through the supplies first real quick, and then we'll start getting into the beading. We're going to start with this camp. Let's see if I can see in here. It looks like my screen is frozen. There we go. Your camp craft kit for this week. Excuse me. The crafting activity kit for this week is this guy. It's the Have Fun, and everything that you need is in this kit for our beaded shark. So from your kit, you will need plastic lacing. You will need pony beads. And for the darker blue, for this shark, you'll need 49 of the dark blue. You're going to need 21 of the light blue and 1 of the black for his eye. And then a lanyard key ring that's in your kit as well. You don't need that, so we're just going to leave that off to the side here. And then I'm going to keep our shark in the screen so you can kind of watch as we're making him. The other thing that's helpful is this book that comes with your kit. If you flip over to page 7, this will have the diagram, and this is extremely helpful when you're making this keychain. So I'm going to go through following this diagram, and but you'll also have it for reference on your end as well. I didn't mention scissors, but there are scissors in there, and we'll need the scissors just to cut this guy. So we're going to start with the plastic lacing, and you are going to need 60 inches. Now I've already cut mine to 60 inches. So you will just need to cut about 60 inches, and you will use most of that 60 inches. So having 60 inches is important to make sure that you do have the right amount to complete your keychain. It's kind of difficult to backtrack if you don't have enough. So make sure you have enough up front. And so that's the first part. I'll give you a few seconds to get that measured out since I pre-measured mine. So it's a pretty fun little craft. And let's see. Okay, so we are going to start now. In step 1 in your box was just the cutting of the plastic lacing. So now what they call this is plastic lacing or cording. I may call it one or the other as we go through this, but I mean the same thing. I'm trying to be consistent. I'll try to keep it lacing, but cording may pop out every once in a while, just FYI. Okay, so we are going to start with 4 beads. You can see here in our section 2 of our box, we're going to get 4 dark beads. And you're going to put one on here, and you're going to slide it to the middle. And then what I usually do is I just slide it on, then I fold my lacing or cording in half to find the middle, and just slide it to that middle section. Okay. And then there's going to be a lot of crisscrossing. A lot of when we're kind of weaving, we're going to do a lot of crisscrossing like this. So you're going to put 2 beads on here, and then you're going to crisscross back through with your other side. Okay, so we're essentially sewing or weaving with both ends of this cord, and I'm just pulling these 2 down, pulling them down. So I have this little triangle. Okay, and then we're going to add one more blue bead, and do the same thing. Crisscross with both ends or overlap. You can see that I may have gone a little fast on there, so I apologize. So just show how I went. So what I did, I'm gonna pull this off. So I took 1 bead, threaded on my lacing or cording, and then took the other side, and then went in the opposite way. So they're overlapping and crisscrossing. Okay. So then I'm just going to pull the ends just like I did just now with the other 2. And then I have it all nice and tight. We have our first fin, on our shark. Okay. So now we're going to take another bead. I'm just going to pour these guys out so it's just a little bit easier to get to. We're going to take another bead. We're going to put this on here. We're just going to slide it on. We're not going to do anything, you know, crisscrossing or fancy to that one. Okay. So now we're going to put on 2 more. And then we're going to crisscross or overlap here in the opposite direction and pull the ends. Okay, this is pretty much the technique that we're using throughout the shark. Let's see, I'm going to kind of arrange this a little bit. So we have these two, all of these beads. Sorry, let me backtrack just a little bit so I can get these guys nice and arranged the way they need to be. And I may have to back out of here because it's not pulling in. So apologies. Hold on, I'm going to backtrack. So we need to have 3 in here. 3 in here. And then, okay, so let's back up. Okay, we have our one little guy here. Apologize here. Okay, I'm going to put 3 on. This is where I got a little bit. I have to remember there's this one place in this guy where the technique's just slightly different. Okay, so I have 3 beads on here. Okay, and I'm going to slide it up next to my first fin. So now I'm going to take the other end. So that went in this side, so I'm going to take the other end, but I'm just going to go through the first 2 beads. I'm going to leave that third one. Let's see, make sure I'm going in the right way. Let's see, I put those on the opposite way, sorry. Let's do this one more time. See, professional crafters don't always get it right the first time either. Okay, so we have these beads in here. Okay, and then we're going to go through these other 2, which is pretty much what I could have just done, just turned it around a minute ago, but you know, we're going to get this going. Okay. So I don't know why he is not situating right. So give me just a second. Okay, so we have our 3 on here. Oops. Somehow he got on the wrong side. Okay. So we have our 3 on here. And then I'm going to go back through the other direction, which doesn't seem like the right. Let's see. You can give me just 1 minute to figure this one part out here. And I may just need on that one. That's okay. That's what it is. Okay, here we go. Okay, we have 3 on here. We're going to use the same side as opposed to using the opposite side. And we're going to go through these 2. Skip the 1, go through these 2 here. And then we are going to pull these. Oops, he got in the middle here. Get him out of the way. There we go. We got our 2. And then we're going to add 2 more. Let's see, I think, hang on. Hang one more time. Did not have any of this when I did my first shark. For some reason, I'm having a little bit of a struggle on this one, but I have a different idea of the way this one was supposed to be. So give me just a second and then I will show you what I did. So I have 5 on here. So I'm going to go through 2 this way and make my little, oh, let me go the other way. Let's see. This is probably the most confusing part of the your entire shark. Okay. Okay, so put 6 beads on one side. And it really doesn't matter what side because both the sides should be pretty even. Okay. So then you're going to arrange your bottom 3 or the last 3 that you put on, kind of a triangle, and you're going to pull this cord around. And I'll show you in just a minute. Just when I get my hands out of the way here. Okay, so let me get these out of the way. Come on. I'm just sliding, moving them down here. So we have our third. So we're kind of working a little bit backwards or upside down where it feels like you want to work one direction. We're going to actually work up on the fin. Okay, so we have those two. So we have our little bottom triangle here. Now we need one more. So we're going to kind of flip this up. To me, it's easier to arrange the whole thing the way it's supposed to go in. You can see how I've kind of just holding it because this will fit in between these two. And it makes a little bit more sense when as you're threading these on. And actually that was last one was two. So I just did one, but we're gonna do this. I'm just gonna back out and then put them through those two. I know this one was a little bit confusing, so I apologize. It obviously confused me too. So just this cord right here wants to be in there and it shouldn't be in there. Okay, so these cords sometimes get kind of intertangled. So there is our fin, our two fins. So I know that was a little bit confusing, so I apologize. So what I did was I put 6 here. I can just show you and then I'll take them off. Okay, just so you can see one more time a non-confusing way to do this. Okay, I'm going to put 6 on here. Now pretend these aren't on here. These other ones aren't on here. So we're just gonna so I'll have 6 on there. Okay, so what I'm doing is working from the last one I put on. I want to kind of fold it down so it looks like that. And that's how, and then take the cord back up and go back through those two beads. And then I just got tangled there. Okay. And then I'm going to take the next two. Now, normally you would do this up against the first fin. And then I'm just going to fold it over. And so again, like, see, it's easier for me to go ahead and just fold it the way we want it to look. And then it makes a little bit more sense with the cording. I should have done that from the beginning, but didn't. So apologize. And then I'm going to tighten that up. For that other fin. And then that 6th bead is just there to be kind of an in-between to provide a spacer. So I'm going to take these off now. That was just one more, just wanted to show you one more time how to do that cording since I did not make that easy to follow the first time. So apologize. Okay, so let's get this out of here. And then we will move on to our number 4 box here. Get this out of here. Okay. So there we go. So we have our fin that's going to be, and as we pull these in here, these fins will kind of naturally pop out a little bit. So look more like the fins. Right now they're kind of doing their own thing here. Okay. So now we're going to go back to the easier weaving in and out. Okay. So from going here in our block 4, we need 2 beads, 2 of these dark blue beads. We're still working on our dark blue. And we're going to do the same way we were doing, on the first fin or first tail fin, and put 2 on and then do our overlap. So a majority of the rest of him is this kind of weaving back and forth. So now we're going to do 3 dark blues. And then we'll start bringing in some light blues in our next row. 1, 2, come on, 3. And then weave or push this one through these 3 beads here in the opposite overlapping direction. Pull it tight. Pull it down here. And see how my fins are popping out a little bit. Let's see. So we have our, it's all just, you just tighten it, all tighten up as we keep adding our beads. So now this time we want to do 1 light blue and 3 dark blue. And then we'll do our weaving. Sometimes it's easier for me to keep those in place and then just push the beads over, or if it's easier for you to push the cording or lacing through the beads, that will work as well. I just dropped that one on accident, so I'm gonna push that back through. Okay, you want, like I said, you want to keep these, tight against each other. You don't want to pull too hard because this plastic lacing will snap. Like if you really, really tug. Now I'm pulling pretty hard and it's not stretching, but it's not going to pull apart of me. But I have had them before because I was really tugging, and it can snap. But you've got to give it a fair amount of pressure to do that. Okay, our next row is 2 light blue and 3 dark blue. My voice is, for the most part, coming and going a little bit. Okay, so then the next row will actually be exactly the same as this one. 2 light blue, 3 dark blue. We'll have 2 of those rows that are exactly the same in a row. And then we will move on to our box 5 of our diagram and start adding the shark's fins, which is another kind of go back to the way we did our first fin. So it's a little bit, or I'm sorry, our second fin. So it's a little bit challenging, but we've got it now. I think we'll be just fine on that guy. Okay, so 1 more row of that exact way, 2 light and 1 dark. I'm sorry, 2 light and 3 dark blue. Now, if you want a different colored shark and you have some punny beads at home, you are more than welcome to change this up any way you want to. This is just how it was kitted for this class. Or you can, it's your next slumber party or your next birthday party you can have your friends make them. You can teach them what you learned in this class, how to make a shark, a blue or pink or purple or green or whatever you want to do. Okay, so there we go. This is what we have so far, exactly from what's in our box 4. I know it's right there on the edge of the camera, but they're on box 4. Now we're going to move to 5. And in 5 is where we're going to have a little bit of a tricky part again, like we did here on box 3, on 5. And this is going to be building his top fin. I don't know what it's called. Dorsal fin, maybe. I could be wrong on that, but his top fin. Maybe I'm going to pour the rest of these out just so I have them there. And then I have my black, his little eyeball close. Okay. So it looks like I need 5 beads here, 5 dark blues. So I'm going to do what I did on that second one because we're going to work. I'm sorry, I'm going to put it on this side because I want it at the top. I'm going to put 5 beads on here. Okay, and then I'm going to do what I did earlier. Is I'm going to arrange the beads the way I want them to be on that first section. If you see the first 3, and then I'm going to pull that same lace, same cording side. I'm not using the other side's not being used right now. I'm going to tighten that up here. And then I'm going to flip this over again to do the same thing. And my dog has decided now is the time that she is going to whine until I put her out. Okay, so we have our fin, and I'm going to pause really quick and run and drop her out because she will bark until I grab her. So give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Okay, sorry for that quick little interruption. She does not follow my schedule. Okay. So now we're in box 6. So we're going to add a row of beads, and then we're going to do our shark's lower fin, this three blue here. So to get our next row on, we need 3 dark blues and 2, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and pour these out now. 2 light blue. I didn't want my cord to scatter them everywhere because it tends to do that, but we're kind of getting towards the second half of this. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to back out because it looks like what I didn't do here is, because we're here on the outside, we need to go over this bead here, and we need to put this cord through this second bead on that fin, and it's going to be tight. It's going to be a snug fit. So just don't get frustrated. Just kind of keep working it through. And that way we moved our cord inward. So it's not, so that way we have this working straight across this row. So now we're going to put these back on. 2, 3, 4, or 3 dark blue, 2 light blue. And then we're going to, let's see. We're going to crisscross these. Let's see what we're going to do here. So it looks like, let's see, our working one goes through and out, which is this one here. We have this one that we're going to work these. And so we'll work these, the fin, and then we're going to put them through those right there. Okay. So we need to add 3 dark blue, the other side, not the one we just did. That one's just kind of hanging out. Okay. And we're going to do we're going to flip this up here. And we're going to push these through these 2. And that's kind of my little tip there, is to, kind of make them look, that's what I was trying to avoid there. Try and make the beads look like how you want them to look, as while you're cording. And that way it kind of gives you that visual. It helps you see where the cords need to go. Okay, so now this bottom, just kind of arrange it here. So we're going to do the same thing here. We need to push this one back through this first one here, so we have our cords evenly, where they're supposed to be on their row, and not work out. And then once this gets through there, you'll tighten that up a little bit. Okay, then we're going to put this cord that we just did, that smaller fin, through these 5 here. And then we are going to tighten up this fin right here, because at least mine got a little loose when I did all that. Okay, so just tighten that up. So once I have it all nice and tight, I'm going to just tighten that. And when I say tighten, really all I'm doing is I'm just kind of moving the bead around on the cording and kind of tightening up the cord. Okay, so that's all I did, was just tighten it up a little bit so it all kind of pushes in together to make a solid little shark here. Okay, now on to box 7. Box 7 in our diagram. Now it shows that it's pushing it back through this fin bead here, and it's probably doing that, so it will bring that fin in, and so he doesn't get kind of lost in the, floating out on his own. So I'm going to push that. So what I did was I came out of those 5, and then I just went over through this top bead. And what that's going to do, when I add the next level, is it's going to pop that fin up, make it stand up. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead now and add 3 dark blues to this left side cord, and 2 light blues. To the cord, and you'll see once I get the next row in, it's going to really make that stand up. And it looks like this side's doing the same thing. So I'm going to, and I just turned it over. So I'm going to take this cord just because I'm right-handed. I keep kind of flip-flopping it. And you can do that, or you keep it all on one side. So I know it's sometimes easier to, for me, it's easier to work the direction that I'm that my hands naturally want to go. So it's really tight in there. So, and so what I did was I kind of pushed the cords out of the way and kind of with my fingernail push that bead up to try to make some more room in there in that bead. Okay, so now I'm back. I'm just tightening that up. Flop this over, grab this side here, and weave it or overlap through these 5 beads that we put on a minute ago. Okay. All right, guys, we're more than halfway done with our shark. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, so now tighten that up. And then we add our next rows and stuff, it's gonna kind of push it down and make it all nice and tight. But we want our little fins to stand up straight. So now we are going to go to the 8th row, next row. So that one, again, we have, let's see, it's 8, also another. So this one, this time we're going to add 3 light blue. And it looks like 4 dark blue. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then push the other side through. Overlap. And fair warning, my daughter will be home from school any minute, and she usually comes in kind of loud. So, okay, so there is our next row. And then looks like now our next row is 3 light and 3 dark. Should be getting close to the eye. Yeah, that's in box 12. Okay, 3 light, 3 dark. And overlap them in here on our cords. Come on. Okay. And remember to keep your cords tight. I did not do that on the last one. It'll start to get kind of bunchy, but they will stay the way they're supposed to stay as we move through finishing our shark up here. Okay. So now we're going to go do his little open mouth. Okay. So we're going to add 3 beads. Let's see. Add 3 beads here. Push them up to the shark. Fold those bottom, is it 1? Let's see here. Okay, this is our arrangement. So we're going to fold 1 over. And then we're going to push it through the other 2. Tighten this up. Tighten that up so he's up against the shark. And then I have this in order to get my cord to come back. Let's see. I need to get my cord to come back through. Let's see here. This shows it out like that. And then we just go right on in to do I do them upside down. Looks like I did the one. My twos were supposed to be underneath instead of on top. So let me redo that real quick. So I have my shark body here. But these beads doesn't want to stay tight. This rounded cording sometimes kind of is slippery. Okay, so this one pops over like that. So then this one goes through these two here. Okay. And then now tighten it up. Come on, cords. Okay, so have this through here, and it looks like I need to go through this one to get my cord over where it needs to be so I can keep beading here. And he wants to loosen up. Okay, now we're going over to 11 and shows 3 dark blue, 2, 3 dark blue and 1 light blue. Let's see, and then this looks like it might be, okay, so this goes going through these here. I'm running out of beads. Okay, so I have that. That one's good. So you can see this cord coming out of here and going through those and going up, which is this. And then once it's done going through these 3 and going through out, which is this. Oh, we do want him to be doing that. Okay. So that kind of gives us the open mouth. Now we're going into 12, where we add 1 dark. We add a black for his eye and a light blue. And we thread them through here. And I either knock some beads around or something, but I have more right here. So I don't know what I did here. Maybe I just didn't count them out right. That could totally be it. I'm going to grab just a handful of here. Probably don't need that many, but okay. So now I'm going to do 2 dark blue and a light blue. And a light blue. Run this through here. I'm going to do 1 dark, 1 light now. 1 light. Overlap and pull. Oh, other side came out. Do that again. And then finally, we're going to add a blue for our last beading portion, a light blue. And then we're going to tie on our lanyard or lanyard clip. Okay, let me get these out of the way since we don't need those anymore. Okay, so our lanyard clip is really, it's just a tie. It's just an overhand tie, overhand knot. So we have our cord on here. Okay, you want to overlap, push 1 through the loop, pull tight. I'm going to do that one more time. That here. Now, if you have the room, I would suggest, sorry, I'm out of the camera there, got it too close to my face, to weave your ends through. It doesn't tell you to do that, but I found that that's the best way to keep my ties nice and clean. So if you can, I mean, I know these beads just don't have a whole lot of room in there. So like I said, I'm kind of bending it down and I'm going to push the cords out of the way as much as I can to try to get that in there. And then once I get that in there, I'm determined it will go in there. And I will tell you a nice little trick. If you have a toothpick handy, you can always kind of use that to push through, but mine's almost through. And this cording just gives like just enough structure. I can see it right there. Gives just enough structure to be solid to help push this through. Let's see it now. Okay, so once I get this through, I'm going to trim. Maybe pulling this will help. No. I can see it right there. I'm going to pull it out and try, see if I can get it here at the top. But what this is going to do, I know I came up the screen there, I had to get my hands together. See there, I just kind of pushed and just made a little bit of room up there. Now, there we go. Got it. Whew. Okay. And that's going to do two things. One's going to pull that knot inside the bead, but it's also going to give a little bit more room. I'm going to try through these two, see if I can get those in there. And then trim the ends off. And my hand kind of were slipping there, so I took them off camera for a second. Okay, I'm gonna try this one more time here. This last cord. We're gonna do it. Come on, you can, yay. And once I get these through, we can reshape our shark. There we go. Okay. So now I'm just gonna take my scissors here, trim these ends. You can throw the excess away. And now just kind of shape your shark. His little open mouth. And his fin. And just kind of get your cords kind of evenly distributed through his shark for his shape. And there you go. We have our shark, our beaded shark. Now we do sell these little plastic lanyards in the kids section in bright colors. Lots of we as in Michael's, and we have lots of honey bead options. If you want a gray shark, black shark, pink shark, purple shark, green shark, yellow shark, gray shark, whatever. If you want to make more, then there are supplies at Michael's that you can pick up. Those will have the plastic cording to make another shark with your friends or teach them what you learned today. So, all right. Well, there's our shark. So thank you so much for beading with me today and have a great afternoon. Thanks, guys.